Beyond.
Beyond! Yeah! Let's do this!
Beyond.
Ryan, did you have your Raisin Crunch brand thing today?
Yes, I did. They actually really hurt my throat just now.
There you go. Welcome to Podcast Beyond. Episode 72. That's my
72?
favorite number.
No, it isn't.
72 is my favorite number.
Why is that your favorite number?
Because you see it everywhere, and it's a number that you would not expect to see.
Really?
But you see it everywhere. I first learned I had a bat when I was a little kid. I used to go out in my backyard, swing the bat, practice just my baseball swing. Became a pretty decent hitter, and it had 72 on it, and I realized I started seeing it everywhere. 72. You see 72 way more often than you see 71, 73, 74, 70. It's
Not when it's 75.
Yeah. Anyway, but so welcome to Podcast Beyond.
Beyond.
I am Chris Roper. Greg Miller, you are back from the future.
Back from the future.
We'll get back to that in a second.
We need lottery
We'll
numbers.
get back to the future. Ryan Clements, you've killed yourself basically.
Yep, but I'm still okay, and I'm pumped.
Very good.
Ready to do this show.
Jeff Haynes, what's going on?
Not much. I think Ryan's going to hurt himself today.
There we go. Let's get right into the show with the Rope Report.
Time for some news.
So, a bunch of announcements this week. One very bad announcement for Sony is that they're cutting 8,000 jobs.
Oh,
no. Wow.
So
It's probably totally not classy at all.
that's fine.
Whatever. They don't listen.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, so that's very sad. And this is not Sony Computer Entertainment, the PlayStation thing. I imagine there's cuts in there, but it's company-wide. Financial crisis and all that kind of crap. And
Probably people make CDs.
No, isn't this supposed to be over like a 2-year period or something like that? Like
it's
they're supposed
over.
to evaluate
It's
things?
over till 2010 or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's a basically a long-term plan they got going on. I don't think everybody got cut on the same day. But
That'd be a
anyway.
horrible Christmas.
Yeah, it'd be pretty terrible. I got laid off in 2001 from an internet company.
From IGN.
No,
You've
no,
been working
on,
here ever since.
On January 4th, which was great because they had like a Christmas party and they gave us all bonuses and they're like, "You're doing great. Go ahead and go home and enjoy the holiday." You come back like 2 days later on a Friday. They're like, "Yeah, get out of here."
Oh.
So that was great.
Oh, no.
But you had that one moment of glory.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
thought everything was going to be
See,
all right.
so I would rather actually have it be laid off before Christmas because then I can return all my expensive gifts.
There you go. Good call. Good call.
Yeah, then everybody gets, cookies. Anyway, more news. Echo Chrome was announced this morning is getting a patch that will bring 1,000 levels to the game.
Yep.
All user-created stuff, plus support for trophies.
Yes.
Everybody's happy about that one. Killzone 2 got a final release date of February 27th. That's, they're our newest February anyway, so that's good to know. Crash Commando and Savage Moon will be coming to the PSN before year's end.
I don't believe it.
snap.
Sony's shoving it in there. We've played both games. We have
Yes.
They're both really
we
good.
have
They're both
them,
really
and they're
good,
awesome.
actually.
Yeah.
They are awesome.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
They are fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, they're both very good games. We'll come up with the reviews later. We haven't played enough to review the games yet, but we're having a lot of fun with both of them. Crash Commando will be out on December 18th, which will be, next Thursday, a week from today. And Savage Moon will be out on December 23rd, which would be the
Next week,
Tuesday
What?
on Christmas week, because Christmas is Thursday, so they're doing it on Tuesday. So I would expect some other stuff on the 23rd also. Hopefully they haven't announced this, but thinking about this, since there's going to be an update on the 23rd, at least of some sort, I'm hoping they're going to have Sackboy costumes where you make Sackboy Santa.
They've already announced that.
Yeah.
Did they?
Sackboy Santa is coming today.
Oh,
my
man.
Part one of it's coming today.
That's
it's
true.
the suit, the pants, and the jacket, and then next week is the hat and
hat
the
and the
How
beard
did I miss this then?
friend.
I don't know. You don't care, I guess.
No, I
man.
know about the Street Fighter stuff. My next thing I was going to mention was this Street Fighter Sackboys are today.
They got the post on the blog got pushed down by like 2 other posts on the same day.
So I
Yes.
I totally missed that.
Sackboy
You've been
Santa.
busy enjoying PlayStation Network this
Been
morning.
busy writing trying to do that.
Instead of ho ho ho, it's sack sack sack.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to the
sack.
biggest news in just one second. The reason I was spending time trying to connect to the interwebs is that before that, pretty big news is that a new Metal Gear game is apparently coming.
Metal Gear?
On the Kojima Productions website, there's a rather vague thing that's says lowercase I plus exclamation point equals, then it's like a power symbol with an exclamation point that's all green, then it says something I don't have the site
A new
in front of me.
Metal Gear
a
is.
new Metal Gear is ... So we'll come back to that in a minute in reader mail.
I bet it's Al Gore.
Yeah, but the last news of the day is the big one.
Oh,
What
I don't know
could
if we
it
can
be?
hear the drum roll.
What is it?
I'm bouncing my iPhone.
Home is out. What? Home is available right now if you can actually connect to the internet.
Is it available?
It seems like it is.
Okay.
Well, our updates.
I mean,
up.
none of the problem is that nothing is working. So
Yeah.
we're not. We updated the betas, which would make you think that you've updated to the final product here. But of course, the beta crashes as soon as you try to play it.
Yeah, anything that you I had problems just connecting to the internet in general on the PSN.
I had to do a whole bunch of times trying to get into my PSN, and
then
finally
once you
went
get on, if you try to go to the store, it
Crashes.
blows up. You can I downloaded the update for home. You also did that. Then you click the button and it says many times it says just immediately disconnected. Sometimes it'll say going online. It looks like it's loading and then it crashes.
Yeah.
So
this is even affecting the PSN on the PSP. I tried to go there to redeem some codes this morning. Nope, no good. Can't get on.
The whole thing is really messed up right now.
Dude, seriously, that's all you can do.
We're trying
There's
to get
always growing
official.
pains with revolutions.
Yeah, we're trying to get an official statement from Sony. The last thing we heard is that there's no update on anything. We will see how this goes as the day, hopefully not weekend, pans out. So we'll see. So that's all the news for today. Greg, you just got back into town.
Yeah,
How
I
did
missed
that
a lot
go?
of news. It was good.
He just took
I
down
went to the Bears
a
game.
governor.
Yeah?
Hung out. Yes, I was there to take down Blogovich.
There you
That
go.
was me. I was Congressman number 7 who was looking to get
Greg.
into the Senate seat. I
see.
figure this thing's golden, and I'm not going to let it go for nothing. I'm going to get something out of it. Yep. Read the newspaper if you don't know what we're talking about.
Come on,
Yeah.
Greg.
Jerks. But yeah, Chicago. It was good.
There you go. Now, in Chicago, do they have game stores?
Yes, they do.
Can you go to the store and buy games?
I did several times.
Did you have any idea what games that you should be purchasing when you went to the store? How would you know what's new?
I did know because I had the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors in my head.
That was not me.
Oh.
No.
I knew that someone was going to do it this
See,
time.
I was going to do it, and then I was looking at Ryan. I'm like, I don't want to take his thunder, so I'm
No,
just
but
going to
I
let
had
him.
a feeling that
Jeff
either
brought
you or
the thunder
Jeff
right
was
there.
going to
Yeah,
do it.
it's all because Ryan blew his voice out on that first Beyond.
No, I can still sing, though, quite like kind of more softly, serenely.
He's
Charmingly.
going to sing just the tip.
Just the tip.
All right, well, we're past Black Friday, and it's now a barren wasteland of games in terms of quantity. However,
Yes.
quality is very good. PS3 has nothing.
Oh.
But except, I guess, Home, which isn't really a game because we're not going to review Home, right? Is that
No.
our deal? We're going to give impressions on it?
Certainly.
No,
not.
we're going to give impressions, but we're not going to review it.
And, however, though, PS2 gets Persona 4.
Woohoo!
There you go. And then PSP gets Dungeon Maker 2. The Hidden War.
All right.
So, by the way, Sam is playing through Dungeon Maker right now to review it for us.
now he's gone.
And yeah, he's missing right now. But he's probably stuck in
Missing
the
in
dungeon.
action.
That game has the greatest intro movie I've ever
did he
seen.
show
Were you
it?
around when you saw this?
No.
Okay, so the intro to Dungeon Maker 2 shows it's a CG cutscene of like kind of not so great CG. It's kind of like you see commercials for schools that show you how to do 3D work or whatever.
Yeah.
And the
My animator always likes
Yeah.
me to wiggle my hips, and like it shows that girl with
yeah,
her arms
and
stretched
you
out.
know how those models in there never really look all
Yeah,
that
they look
great.
terrible.
Yeah. So that's what the quality of this thing looks like.
but
right?
even worse.
No, but the actual thing happening is it's basically black around the edge of the screen, so you can't see the whole scene. But you see a door, and a guy sticks his head through the door, and then there's a rat. Then you see back his head come through the door again. Then the rat jumps to the screen and is like, ah.
Yeah.
And then the guy walks through the door. Then the rat's going, ah. Then he comes out. It cuts back to him. He comes through the door and he like slashes his sword. And then it says Dungeon Maker 2.
Nice.
And you're
Oh my
forgetting the
God.
best part where there are really awkward pauses. Like they didn't cut it at the right time.
Yeah.
So when the rat lunges and goes, ah,
It
and
just
then there's like a
pauses on the
pause,
screen.
and then it cuts to his face like,
It's really,
yeah,
it's
awesome.
really poor.
It's the best. It's the best. We actually should capture that and put it on the
Yeah,
site.
really,
so
the
people
only
can
thing
see.
you can see in the intro is the door itself and the guy and the rat.
I thought it was a
and-
wolf,
Wow.
not a rat.
I
but
think it's a rat, but
Well.
I prefer to think of it as a
Wolf
giant rat. But anyway,
giant rat's way funnier.
so that's if you can somehow rent that game for free. I don't know the
we
quality
should
of it.
let's put the movie up.
Yeah. We'll try to capture the movie for you, but or maybe somebody put it on YouTube already because it's pretty crazy. But anyway, so there you go.
Indeed.
Now I want to play it.
Yeah, what's coming out on the PlayStation Network today besides Home, if it actually ever works?
Yeah, well, we've covered some of it already. I mean, obviously, Echochrome getting trophies and the 1,000 levels, which will come random as you play the free levels. They'll just be interspersed throughout your gameplay randomly. Obviously, the first step is Santa Sackboy, the Street Fighter Sackboys. There will be, no doubt, Rock Band tunes, I believe 14 in all. There's also going to be a lot of Resistance items. There's going to be Resistance 2 themes. All the Resistance Fall of Man map packs that you could download for the original launch title are now free. So if you don't have them, go get them. Yeah, I know.
Oh, look at you.
If you already bought them, it sucks. But if you haven't, there you go. And there's going to be a new Resistance 2 trailer that will be up,
Very good.
amongst other things.
So, getting to pick of the week. Pick of the week! The clear winner here is Persona 4.
Yes.
Yeah, hands
So,
down.
Easily.
Even though this video does make me want to play Dungeon Maker 2.
Yeah. But see, that only gives you like 10 seconds of entertainment. Oh,
Yeah.
you can watch it 100 times.
Okay.
'Cause it's so good.
Yes.
But really,
So
so,
that's
you're
like-
talking...
that's like 2 hours.
So it's 1,000 seconds, which is...
2 hours.
Yeah.
Pretty
so, you know, you're going to get more out of Persona 4, basically.
A lot more.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
more.
Yeah.
Just
So we'll find out
dozens
about
and
that.
dozens of
Dry,
hours.
red eyes.
Let's
choose
get on.
Clear eyes.
Let's get on to trophy tips. So here, I'll give you some trophy tips already for Crash Commando.
There you
Sam and I were
Hey.
playing it the other week. So basically, what we did was these two games. This is kind of interesting. Greg, you weren't here for this because
Nope.
it was on the thing. But so we're sitting here at work. We're like, man, today's pretty easy, no problem. We're doing all these features, and then all of a sudden, it was the day that we had to turn in our awards for our platform awards for the PS3, all that kind of stuff, right? Because it's like, you know, December 8th or whatever. There's no more games coming out pretty much.
In
Then
theory.
all of a sudden Sony announces the Crash Commando and Savage Moon are coming out. And there's playable stuff on the thing. We're like, we got to turn on our awards. We got to play these games to see if they're up for anything. So like, oh my god. So then we had to go and we're just playing these games for the rest of the day, and that was our focus. But so it was a mad rush to just get time with these things. And
It sounds like a rough life.
yeah, it was pretty terrible. So Sam and I are playing Crash Commando, and the trophies in this game are actually pretty simple.
Sweet.
So there's one, there's a goal that
Talking
you
my
can get.
language, Clements.
There's a goal that you can get just for playing the game. You get experience and you level up and stuff like that. So
Okay.
you can get a gold for getting to the maximum. But there's one for hosting a game for an hour, which is pretty simple to do. There's one for killing 20 people with all of your, I think it's 8 weapons. So on that one, it doesn't tell you how many you have in any weapon though. So you're going to want to go into a match, use just that one weapon and kill some people. There's and then keep switching through. There's a trophy for, so when you basically, as you're playing the game, so you have experience that follows your dude the whole time, right? This persistent experience thing. But in each level that you're in, you have a little like meter bar, and when you fill it up after killing a few dudes, you'll get a power that you can turn on one of 3 things. There's like health, speed, and something else. And if you get all 3 of those at the same time, 10 individual times, then you get a trophy for that. And that thing is just get into a tank and just sit there and camp people.
Okay.
And then just you can actually, if you turn on one or here's kind of a cool part about this is if you turn on 1 or 2 things and then you die, you lose what you have turned on. You have to do it again. But the experience that you've been collecting to turn those things on counts or keeps, and it's stackable. So if you want to be safe about it, you can kill a bunch of dudes. Then when the match is ending, you'll probably have enough to turn all 3 on at the same time and be safe about it. If it's gotten kind of crazy.
I see.
Yeah. And it seems like you get faster experience. You can play bots online also, which is awesome.
Nice.
It seems like you get faster experience if you put the bots on easy. It gives you more experience faster. You can get those things quicker. So if you want to run through trophies, turn that on.
Interesting.
It's just really
There you
nice
go.
that they're bots. Bots are totally underrated. I think I said that on a few
I know.
shows ago, but I mean, seriously, people need more bots in multiplayer games.
I agree.
Yep.
Well,
I agree
it depends
also.
on whether or not the bots are done well, because there are some bots that
Perfect dark
they throw
bots.
in.
Sometimes
bots.
the stupid bots are really funny though. Like because if you want serious competition, you can just fight your friends. But if you want a good laugh,
Yeah,
you
but
turn
dude,
to-
like
the
if you're gonna use bots as like practice to warm up for like actual competition online, you've got stupid bots. That doesn't help you at all.
Well, dude, the
Right,
greatest
right.
thing of all time is Time Splitters 2. Co-op.
God.
Basically, you play a multiplayer match, and you basically play a team of you and your friend
versus monkeys.
versus all monkeys.
Monkeys.
And just put it to like 100. So you have to kill 100 monkeys. And it's the greatest thing of all time.
That's true.
They get set on fire, and they're running around setting each other on fire. And
That is
Man.
true.
They made haze, right?
yes. It is the same thing that made Haze.
But
Haze did not have monkeys.
speaking of,
That's why it was.
just like Crash Commando, Savage Moon has got a couple of trophies as well, and part of it is that it's relatively easy to gain, I believe, 3 or 4 just doing some of the tutorial start out with the missions, which you'll have to do anyway as you're learning how to repel these insectoids or whatever the hell they're calling them. But it's one of those things that as you're playing it, you wind up getting a lot more of an understanding of what you're supposed to do and how you do it. So like building turrets, researching different kinds of turrets, powering up your turrets and upgrading them. I believe those are ways that you can gain like a couple of quick bronze trophies really, really quickly, really easily. And by the time you get to about the second or the third mission, you'll have about 4 or 5 different bronze trophies just by going through some of the tutorial, which you're going to wind up doing anyway because like Savage Moon seems to be one of those games that it seems basic, but it's got a lot of like little strategy and tips that you can do to get around all the.
You know what I loved about
creatures.
Sorry. You know what I loved about Savage Moon was that I was worried about that game because it started off. Jeff turns it on. I'm just at my desk working, and it starts off with Jeff going, "What? Damn it! What is that? Oh man! Oh
Am I
God,
Fran?
God!" And he's like doing all this stuff, and then slowly over the course of the day, he's like, "That's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sweet. Yeah. Oh man, this is awesome!" And it just like completely escalated into amazingness.
I didn't know that I was Fran.
Yeah, that was you doing Fran. So, there you go.
Let's get on with topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
We've all yelled at some point.
Greg's just staring. It's coming soon. I can see it. I can feel it. It's like a pre-tremor to the big quake. Anyway, topic of the week this week, obviously, a game came out, or a thing came out this week.
Social application networking
Social
function.
application that came out this week. Dungeon Maker 2 hit stores.
Yeah.
So actually, no. We're going to talk about Home. Home hit. So here's the thing. Greg and I have been in the Home beta for, I don't know, a month or so now, whatever it is.
No, I've been there longer than that.
Yeah.
I made the beta.
Yeah, you got in about a week.
the beta.
You got in about a week before I did.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to talk about this. Basically, we signed on. We said, okay, we can talk about Home in general. We can't talk about our specific experiences in it because it's part of the whole beta thing. And we're like, fine. Now that Home is out, we can say anything we want to.
And how it should be noted, though, again, that we are talking about what we've done in the beta, which is supposed to be what it's like in the final version, except there'll be more bells and whistles, except we haven't played the final version.
Because
Except
we can't
this
get
is the
online.
Because we can't get on because it's crashed the PlayStation Network.
Except this is now the open beta as opposed to the closed beta.
There you go.
So
Beta.
So now the difference
Or
that we
beta.
know, because we haven't been able to play the final one yet, is that the finished beta, if you will, the thing that actually came out to everybody, has an extra game in it and a couple other things like that.
Yeah, the rooms
But-
will all be there. Like Uncharted and Far Cry, they shut down eventually. Like
Yeah.
they turned off in the beta, but we were able
Right.
to get into them for a short amount of time.
Yeah, but now they're back in there. So most of the content is basically the same, but a couple extra things.
Yeah,
but
they'll have the diesel people, the furniture, the stuff
Yeah.
to buy. I mean,
so all that will be in there.
we had the basic tools, the basic blueprint of what Home's
yeah,
supposed to
so
be
we
like.
got to do what it was. We just didn't have quite as many options, but most of them. Greg, what's your opinion on Home?
I don't know when it all works today. It better be far further than what the basic blueprint we saw was. I mean, it never clicked with me at all, and I was very disappointed. From the time it was announced, I mean, you could go back and look at old Beyonds. I was never behind this product. Like, I never saw, I totally want to go meet up with Jeff and sit by a fake barbecue and talk about, BS. No, I don't want to do that. I want to play games. I want to jump in.
Right.
And not to mention, I'd rather do it from a matchmaking lobby in a game rather than walk around. I mean, it's not like Home isn't seamless. It's not like I turn on my PlayStation 3, I'm in Home in a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to load it up, get in there, find your friend through that, go to them, walk up to them, say, hey, you want to play Warhawk, start the launch thing, go through the menu, do it, and then load out. I mean, it's not like this is a quick process. It's not like this is a...
No, it's way faster if you hit up your friends list, see that he's online,
Yeah.
and send him a message that says, yo, let's play Warhawk, and he
Yeah.
goes, cool. Then you just both load up, and that's way easier.
I mean, my thing with Home was, the funnest times I had in Home was when I made a very ugly character and walked around and just shouted nonsense at people,
Yep.
either through typing or through my headset.
And you created the cult of Clements.
And I did create a cult for Clements, the Church of Ryontology.
Yeah,
Which
that-
now I'm going to have to pay to refound. Come on now, folks.
Yeah, see, that's a bunch of crap.
Come on.
Now, here's the thing is, for me, that really is pretty much the only entertaining bit of Home,
Yeah.
is running around and berating people.
Yeah.
It's the griefer's paradise, but besides that, there's not a whole lot to do.
It's one of those things where it does have potential to be cool. Like that, it could really
there
be
could
well
be
done.
some really cool things with it. Like when it was first shown, or one of the times it was shown, they had the little what if EA Sports type thing where they had free throw basketballs and a little batting cage and all these little type games you play almost like you went to a Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Yeah.
And if that was in there, it would be awesome. You
Yeah.
could go in there and just kind of mess around with games and try to set high scores.
Yeah.
All real basic, but you'd have stuff to do. But there's not really anything like that in the game. You can play pool.
Yeah.
And you can bowl, and then there's all those stupid arcade games.
Which I think are fun.
Some of them are okay.
Yeah, I like the helicopter
The
game.
helicopter
Yeah.
one was fun.
Yeah, they're okay, but they're not to the same sort of thing as what we're talking about, where you can sit there and you can go back and forth with your friend. You can see what he's doing, but you can't really look at the screen very easily while somebody else is playing the game. That doesn't really work.
Did you see the Red Bull flight sim? Though?
I did hear about this game.
Yeah, I saw the
that
screen
might be
for it.
fun,
That looks
too.
like see, that's the thing. I
They had
think
a video of it on the blog.
Yeah,
and it looks
yeah,
fun. Yeah.
the thing about it is that they've got to watch It's gonna be. I mean, first impressions are gonna be killer for this. I mean, they're gonna be key. You know what I mean? The problem was that people have seen and heard impressions and seen screenshots of the Uncharted and Far Cry rooms.
Yep.
And the problem was that when you go into those rooms, which are the 2 that are launching today with the product supposedly, they're not the Red Bull room. You walk in and it's a giant empty room
They
that
suck.
has there's there's some video running, but it's not new or it's nothing
it's old.
nifty. And there's 2 arcade cabinets and then it's just a bunch of crap around. I mean, the Uncharted room is like, hey, you want to see the artifacts from the game now on tables and stuff? It's like, no, I don't want to do this.
It's
What are you
really
talking
pointless. You can't do anything in the game. You can play chess or something with somebody.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
checkers or whatever.
Yeah.
And the arcade game is kind of fun that's in there,
Yeah.
but it's not worth you.
There's the secret code rooms, and you go up to one of the secret code rooms,
And it's so freaking stupid.
you walk in, and there's a projector there. There's a movie projector there with a chair next to it and a screen, but you can't interact with the projector at all. Like, you can't turn it on. There's nothing to do. You can't, watch an Uncharted 2 teaser. Like, that's
That'll
what
probably be turned on.
you'd hope so.
now.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I hope
we're
so.
all talking on, stuff that wasn't an incomplete product or whatever, but, I'm worried. Definitely. I mean, definitely worried.
Yeah.
See, you guys are all approaching this, and which is totally valid from a perspective of a guy who wants to go in, play games, and that's what it is. But I still am coming from the perspective of if people like virtual spaces and just community talking to other PlayStation fans, it's fine. This is exactly what people are going to want to see, and it's all free.
Yeah.
So I really, there's tons of stuff that they could improve on. I'm not going to say that home is like this amazing godsend.
And we're not saying it's
but
complete crap. You know what I mean? We're saying
but
that there's a lot of potential no one's capitalizing on yet.
Yes, exactly. But I think that if people are looking at home as just like a goofy little thing to launch into and just walk around and talk to some PlayStation people, fellow PlayStation fans, I think it's going to be totally fine.
See, I think
they shouldn't expect it's going to be a total disaster and it'll eat your soul.
Okay.
Except for when it crashes the PlayStation Store.
Except when it's doing what it's doing right now.
See, now here's the other problem with the launch of the thing, though, is if it ever works, that's one thing. But if it goes up and people can get in there, like you were saying, first impressions are a big deal. If you have Joe Gamer who's sort of like, well, he's been like, whatever, I've heard about home, and then he's like, okay, hey, it's finally out, I'll go check it out. I've heard a bunch of stuff about this. He goes in there, he plays with it for an hour, and there's not much stuff to do yet. And it sucks. He's like, screw this, I'm never coming back to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think a lot of people are going to walk in there and see that. First off, idiots like me running around screaming that Gears of War is coming out tomorrow on the PSN, which is my favorite thing to do.
I like asking where the cemetery is.
Yeah.
Here's the thing to do, actually. If anybody's listening to this, here's the new thing that I want to start. Go in there and start asking where the cemetery is. Say, I've been there before.
Yeah, I want to go to the home cemetery.
Rare people, don't everybody do this because then it won't work. Rare people go, I know where it is. I'll take you to where it is. Then what you do is you get a group of people to follow him, and all other listeners just go with the guy. So you get a group trying to get other people to go with you, and then just have the guy randomly lead you around the space outside, pretend like you're going somewhere, but never actually go anywhere, and just keep going until everybody falls off.
I always like to tell people that they have to go back to their apartment and put in a sink, and then open up the doors underneath the sink and drink the Drano underneath, and then you go to the home cemetery.
Oh man, I really wish there was a home cemetery.
See,
Man,
this is
so awesome.
what I'm talking about. I think this stuff would be funny and fun for people who just want to goof around at home.
This is one of the dumbest and most retarded things ever conceived.
But again, you are going from a perspective of a guy who's like no BS, just play games. That's what kind of person you are.
If I want to go and hang out with people, I'll go and hang out with them in real freaking life. I don't need a virtual space to do this
totally
crap.
Fine, but
which is just.
But then
home has always been one of the dumbest concepts ever since it was conceived of.
Then you're arguing against MMOs in general
since it was
and all online games.
No.
I know, but you could just do stuff online, or you could just do stuff in real life instead of talk to people online. But people like talking to people online.
And I understand that. But the thing is that this is not a freaking revolution. This is a waste of freaking time. And you can tell that by the beta. Because when these guys were actually playing the beta, the only thing that people were doing were going to the movie theater, dancing the Running Man, and watching the same SOCOM trailer over and over and freaking over again. There is nothing here.
And unless they
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the theater's going to work it today.
Yeah, but it matters.
Placeholder is one thing, but if you're going to try and do this virtual space, you have to have something. That's what Second Life had. That's what a lot of the other Moos, MUDs, MMOs, they had content. Home doesn't have content. Home doesn't have really anything that is enough of a hook outside of like 10 and 12-year-old kids going, "You're gay, you're stupid, you're retarded. Oh my god, hey, watch me dance." And it's just who is going to do this? Who in their right mind is really going to go, "Wow, this is where the actual
Clemence's.
digital revolution is."
I guarantee.
Outside of Clements,
I didn't say it was a revolution.
This
2:30 in the morning tonight.
this
Look
is
at the
one of the worst
PSN.
ideas
Clements
ever
homing it up,
made.
drunk after the Christmas party.
This is not going to outdo like the new Xbox experience or Wii avatars or Mii's or whatever. Like, this is just a dumb idea.
What gets me about it, looking at it, and this is just me being a fan and not knowing what's going on behind Sony's closed doors at all, is that it seems to me wasted resources. As behind as they are in so many aspects of everything, they worry about their costs, they worry about this. I would have much rather seen all the money, all the tech into home, put into something else, put into other
Like
games.
PSP games?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, why?
I'm not saying, but I'm
link
just
my
saying.
PSN to my PSP so I can get trophies on the PSP. I mean, there's all these simple little things that would put them ahead of the competition that actually would appeal to the more wide audience than I think home does.
Here's the thing too: is looking at the product that's available now, or in the beta, and all that kind of stuff. Because really, what launched today still is the beta. It's just the next tiny.
Yeah.
So, is that I can't believe that it took so long for it to come out.
Yeah.
Because really,
true.
all it is you get into a big space. There's not a whole lot of stuff made. There's not a whole lot of content there, really. Like somebody, you could have had a couple artists make this all of the mall and all that kind of stuff in a couple months, no problem. And then you just get in there, you chat with people, and you can buy stuff and change the look of your avatar. And there's a couple things you can play basic mini games, but there's not. I mean, that stuff was working a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So
It hasn't changed much at all since what we saw at GDC.
Yes,
I mean,
I don't understand how. I mean, sure, you go through iterations of bug testing and server load and stuff like that, but I really don't understand how it's taken so long for this thing to come out.
Yeah, especially because just looking at some of the things that you guys have had and being at some of the GDC presentations and being in some of the discussions and everything, a lot of what they've got is really basic, and it's really basic for MMO things. And it's not like you have to come up with a new technology to clone like a server or clone something else. I mean, games have been doing that for a long time. So why it's taken this long to come up with something that is still essentially this basic?
Yeah.
When you could have all that time and gain all the partners and do all the partnerships and have everything. So it's like, hey, coming soon, just like you have in a mall where it's like coming soon this space. So people at least know something's coming. Or you have like all these other things as opposed to, well, home's going to be here. It's going to come soon. Oh, wait, we're going to wait for a few more months. Hey, home's going to be coming. It's hot. Oh, wait, it's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Hey, home's going to be coming. And then all of a sudden it comes and the PSN's dead. I mean, like, what the hell are you
I wouldn't
people-
have gone so far
Why?
as to say all of the PSN is dead.
Have you tried doing anything? The store is
barely
gone.
I thought
it's
you meant
barely
not in
operative?
terms of it being online. I just mean like it's dead as in no one uses the PSN anymore.
No.
I'm
Oh,
talking
no.
I'm
He
talking
means
about
like
now.
that we can't use it right today.
Yeah.
Which is all, again, hypothesis that we're just assuming home is killing everything.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good
Home is
hypothesis.
Sky. That's it. Home is Skynet. That's the cause of the robocalypse.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I totally understand that it took a long time, and it's very odd that it took a long time. I'm just saying that I think that it has a serious potential to become something very cool.
Or
See, now,
extremely retarded.
Here's my thing, though, is if it was supposed to be, just if the focus on it was conversation, you'd figure there'd be much better tools for carrying on this sort of conversation than there is. It's what they would have tried new things or done some new ground or whatever. It's extremely basic. You just chat, and a little bubble pops above your head, and your thing goes in the chat window, and you can talk. And there's not, but you don't have all these other social things that you figure would happen. You don't have anything that works like a Facebook page in the game where you can go in there, you can see somebody else's avatar if they're not online, and you can't go into their home, their apartment if you're not there. You can't
It's weird.
trash it.
Well, I would think you'd have something similar to a Facebook wall combined with the room, so it was almost like a dorm room, where if you knew where your friends lived, they had like whiteboards on their door.
Exactly.
You walk up to the door and write, like you used to in college.
You could actually do stuff that would be cool to where I could go and see that Ryan, he's not online. I can still interact with him even if he's not online.
Right.
Send each other mail, something like that.
Right now in home, unless you could, aside from sending a message, which you could do on just on the cross media bar, there's no way for me to do anything with Ryan if we're not in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I can't leave a message for him somewhere. I can't draw on the whiteboard. That would be awesome. I can't take a photo and then stick it on his virtual dorm room door or whatever. Like all of these things would have been really cool. You could have had all these community things going on. If you make a club and somebody goes to your club, they can't do anything when they're not there. You can't put up like a board in there and it says here's all of our members, and you can have pictures from all the people, and you could like make stuff or whatever. You can put in the furniture that you can buy in the game, but that's all you can do. There's no. It's if you're there, you exist, and if you're not online, you don't exist to anybody else.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like part of the thing too, is that in some ways it almost feels like you do kind of need that college life experience in some ways because of the interaction. I mean, like as far as we've seen, there have been very few companies that have actually talked about integrating some of their community elements with home.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got My Resistance, which is supposed to have a presence, but we don't exactly know what that presence is because nobody's seen it. There are other companies that are supposed to have it, but I mean, like, is it going to be carryover of the message board? Is it going to be a virtual message board? Is there going to be some kind of interaction like you get an idea of what your ranking is from online to where that correlates in home? Nobody knows.
For that history of home, I talked to Kramer from Capcom, and he was talking about how they're trying to support out of the gate with Resident Evil stuff. Well, not out of the gate, but in the coming months with Resident Evil, Street Fighter, so on and so forth. And I was asking him, they obviously have a very, very, very close-knit community over there. And I'm like, are you going to see stuff like that? Are you going to have, like, developers show up in a Capcom room to talk and stuff? And he's like, we're looking into that. And that is stuff that, that would fit our profile. But even thinking about that, that's going to be... They're going to have to go in and figure out, and this is Sony, they're going to have to go in and figure out a way to manage that. Because otherwise you're going to have a developer at the front of a room trying to answer questions and a million word bubbles popping up and people just shouting out.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this, but basically home is a bunch of instances. So if you try to log onto home and when one fills up, it creates another instance.
Yeah.
And now you're in this instance of home. So that way you only have, 100 people in one block of home at a time. So you don't have a billion people in the same space. So if Capcom comes on and goes, hey, we got the whole Resident Evil team's going to come in here to answer questions today, 100 people are going to be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like it's so much better for them to go into a chat room or something else somewhere, or do like a live webcast where they can see it. As opposed to going into home, the chat thing would just fill up immediately. So far as I know, you can't have moderators that would moderate that sort of thing. Like it would be a complete disaster.
Yeah, and the other part would be like say you had Inafune doing like something on Mega Man or some other product. All of a sudden you have all these spawned instances. Well, is that time delayed? Is there some kind of a lag? If somebody winds up asking a question, if they manage to somehow get
but
this
see,
magical
I don't
thing,
think they interconnect.
Right,
so the only people that could interact with them would be in the same one
but
that he's in.
that's what I was about to bring up. Is like if somebody is in one of those spawned instances and they try to submit something, he's never going to get it, so he wouldn't necessarily see it. But then all of a sudden, they're maybe seeing an instance of him talking at some point to somebody, and they're hearing whatever it is, but they can't interact with him. Like there's so many things that, in some ways, home could do. Like you could have that whole group discussion thing, or you could have like a developer like Ted Price go up and go, hey, this is what we're going to do with the next Ratchet game, and of course that one instance will just completely get packed. Every other spawned instance, it's like, well, now you're just hearing an audio stream. In that case, you might as well just turn on the radio or listen to an audio stream on the web. And it's like there's so many things that could be done, but it seems like there's so many technical issues that are holding it back.
Yeah.
Negative Nancy.
I see.
A realistic Nancy.
I mean, you're the only. No offense, and this isn't me knocking you at all. You're the only person I know around here who is positive about it. And I should say that in the beta, on one of the final days that I was around, I did go in there and walked up to a group of kids. I was like, "So is anybody disappointed with home? Because I mean, they don't know who I am, and I'm just saying, blah blah. I've already admitted here, I'm disappointed with it." And they're like, "No, this is awesome, blah blah." I'm like, "What's awesome about it?" And then they just started going, "Well, you're ugly, blah blah, low." Like, I couldn't get the answer out of them why this was great, but apparently,
you couldn't get rationality.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there are going to be people who like it. I think it'll be a small group, though, and I don't see the return. I see, right now, not having played the final version that's broken the system.
The final beta. It's the release beta.
It'll be very interesting to come back a year from now and see what's happening with it.
Yeah,
because if it keeps going with these giant empty rooms and everything else, you're gonna have like the couple hundred kids who like to go there and chat and hang out, and then the old defunct Burger King room that has nothing in it.
Yeah. The King's just walking around and nobody's doing anything with them.
That would be so awesome. If the Burger King,
they put in home tumbleweeds.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Greatest
but
thing of all
that's
time.
possibly what it'll turn into. I mean, I want to be positive about it, but I just can't.
Yeah, you hope people turn around and do start doing really cool stuff with the rooms.
Considering what I've seen from your two sessions, like I have no faith in this. I want to, but it's hard.
Next week we'll do another topic of the week when we can actually say what we think of the final one. Right?
Yeah. Well, next week will be the last Beyond before our break.
Okay.
So we'll have to do something kind of crazy there. I don't know if we'll dedicate it to home or what's going on.
We have to drink.
Drinking
What is
Beyond.
this?
Drunken podcast next
Drunken
week.
Beyond.
Ooh.
Confirmed.
We have to, dude.
Drunken Beyond
we said
confirmed.
we do it before Christmas.
Yeah.
See,
If
my
you don't
thing-
want to do it, I'll do it.
No.
I'll do it.
My
Alright.
thing is I got to leave
join.
on Thursdays at 1 to
right.
go home and watch the kids.
Well,
so.
you don't have to get
We'll,
wasted.
we'll take the
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
take the load
we
for you.
have-
But
what is it?
Drunken Beyond.
If you have one beer, I don't think that's
Yeah,
gonna...
we-
No, yeah, but one's pointless.
one or
We
two.
have 12
I'll have a beer in the podcast.
He'll
Yeah.
have a few, but
Yeah.
like one or two. But
He'll have a few. Yeah.
Well, here's
Five,
the
six.
question. Oh, are you doing this too with us?
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
gonna drink your mojitos.
well, you have to have your
Okay.
mojitos,
I don't even
which
know
means
if
we're
I
taking
like
down beer.
mojitos.
Are we,
but-
should we? Are we gonna? This will be a question people can answer in the thread topic or on
Indeed.
the actual article. You need to figure out and vote, folks, if we should pre-drink coming into this, so we're already a little tipsy, or if we
Or-
should try to drink all of it during. I mean, we got to figure out what the.
It should really be both.
You think so?
A little bit beforehand and then
But
continue
we have
during.
to. We have to finish it. We have a 12-pack. I mean, this isn't even that much of beer. I mean, we have a 12-pack of Sam Adams
That's
Pumpkin
I got a fake ID,
Oktoberfest
though.
between us three. That's 4
Yeah.
apiece, and you don't have to do all your 4. And
Well,
then Clements has got 5
Yeah,
mojitos.
he's got 5 mojitos,
Yeah.
but which means
I
that
don't even know
Greg
if
and
I
I
like
have the
mojitos.
lion.
Oh, you like-
yeah. Which means we have the lion's share of the beer,
Yeah, we'll be
unless
good
Sam
then.
hops in. We'll be good.
Oh, no, Sam. He can't drink. He has to watch us.
He's the designated podcaster.
Designated. There you go. Perfect.
All right, let's get on with the show. Greg, you got a meeting in about 20
12?
minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, snaps.
I'm fine.
So,
Don't worry.
let's get on.
I don't
the
want to ruin the show.
No.
I can
We're
bail.
going to do the show as per normal.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. I don't want to rush.
we don't
I
wanna
don't want to get these.
We don't want to dawdle. Let's get on with the reader mail.
Reader milk.
Reader milk.
Chain milk. Mailman. Alpha milk. Mailbag.
Incoming.
Our first piece of mail comes from Knilik. He says, as PS3 editors, how do we feel about the next Metal Gear is ... teaser?
Meh.
Huh?
I
Looks
haven't
like
seen
Xbox.
it, but I'm excited.
No,
I
it
don't-
doesn't.
So here's
Just
what-
because it's green does not automatically
Yeah, I mean,
make
the
it
power
Xbox.
symbol reminded me of the Xbox power symbol. So.
No, see, the power symbol
power
is the same
symbol is
for
a
everything.
universal power
It's
symbol.
a universal power symbol. On the Xbox, it's a circle with a dot in the middle.
Yeah.
Here's what I think it is. I think
look
it's
like
I
one.
think it's going to be Metal Gear Acid on the iPhone.
Yeah.
And this, granted, I saw this idea somewhere else. It's not completely my idea, but somebody else pointed this out, and I'm like, dude, that's got to be what it is. Because you got a lowercase I for the iPhone. It could be like the DSi, or it could be the Wii, but then there would be like 2 I's or something. So I don't think it's the Wii. It could be the DSi, or it could be the iPhone. I'm thinking it's got. I think it's the iPhone.
See,
plus then plus in the exclamation point, which is in the Acid title, and replaces the AC exclamation point D, and then equals. Whatever the symbol is, so it's something else.
See, I don't think that it would be the DSi or the Wii, only because the lights on those are different. I mean, like, if you have the Wii, it would be blue. You have the DSi, maybe, but that seems like it's a little bit of a stretch.
But see, the green might not have anything to do with the system itself. Might have to do with the game.
Right. But it seems like I would probably bet that it's more like an Acid, and most likely it's either an iPhone or it's just like new Metal Gear Acid, and there's something to do with like some kind of power, some kind of.
The
'cause-
green could be for virtual missions.
Well, it could be virtual missions. I mean,
They're
like,
all ecology-based missions.
There you
That's
go.
why I said
Yeah.
it's Al Gore.
Well,
That is the new Metal Gear.
It
is Al
could be
Gore.
it could be a whole power thing because of the oil situation. I mean, like Kojima likes tying things into like real world things. I mean, who knows what it is, but I think it probably is an Acid.
Metal Gear powered by solar energy.
It could be Metal Gear Boktai.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Moving on, Fitchoud 4145 says, this one's for Greg pretty much.
Hey.
Has there been any new info on the Legends of WrestleMania game? I would hope the engine is different than the current SmackDown engine, but since it's THQ, he doesn't have his hopes up.
From everything I've seen, and I have not had hands on yet, it is a different engine than SmackDown. They've said that before, too, that it is a different engine than SmackDown. And as far as news, I would say you will have some brand new impressions before Christmas.
There we go.
Ooh, a little teaser.
There you go.
Stone Cold says the Fallout 3 trophy/performance patch. Can we expect it when hell freezes over, when pigs fly, or will it be ready before the bulk of its audience gives up and ceases to care?
Well, you do realize that radiation can make pigs fly, right?
Yes.
I'm just saying.
So now here's the thing. From a message that I got from Pete Hines, and I'm not going to tell you what he told me, but basically the thing is Bethesda doesn't want to talk about the patch until it's pretty much ready to go. They don't want to say it's coming out in January and then have it slip to February and people be sad about it. They're going to say when they say it's coming out, that's when it's going to happen. So they're going to wait till everything's in line and they've got all their pieces
in a row.
ducks in a row, whatever. I was trying to think of something that was
Not so cliche.
radiated. Oh, they got all the radiated ducks in a row, whatever you want to say. But anyway, so
Their isotopes in line?
Yeah.
when you hear about it, I would imagine it would be very soon from when you hear about it.
All their rad roaches in a line.
There you go.
Oh, snap.
That's very good. Jobo42 says, "Hey guys, when do you think that the PS3 will get a screen/video capture tool on the cross-media bar? The developers will allow use in their games."
Already in there.
The
Isn't it?
screenshot thing is in
Yeah.
there.
So
So
technically.
But you just have to get that adopted by a developer.
yeah, so the screenshot thing is part of the SDK now for the PlayStation 3. So a developer can put it in and assign buttons to it, and then you click whatever the buttons are, both analog sticks, L2, whatever they would assign to it, and then it would take a screenshot and dump it somewhere on the system. So that's already in there for people to use. The video thing is a different matter altogether. I don't think that that's built in. I know that Pixel Junk Eden had the YouTube stuff, but I don't think that. I think that was something that they specially did. The screenshot thing seems like it's easy because it just comes out of the frame buffer, and
Yeah.
it's a piece of cake. You just save it as a JPEG or whatever. The video thing is different because the video would have to be compressed on the fly, written to the hard drive as you're playing the game. It can have a massive performance loss. If the screenshot thing makes the game pause for half a second while the thing writes, nobody's going to care. 'Cause
Well,
it's,
the other thing is that you have to have certain programs that manage to make it understandable within a certain time frame. I mean, like Live had it where you could save video clips, but the amount of time that it took to render certain video clips to upload to the EA Sports World was so much longer than the actual time was of the clip. I mean, 5-second clips would take you 2.5 minutes just to like render and do everything with. So
Yeah.
it's not an easy process.
Pixel Junk was way better about that. It would just save and go.
Right.
But Black Mantle says, looking back on Sony's decision to reorganize their lineup, do you think that Killzone 2 would have had a better shot at being one of 2008's main ingredients? Is it possible, and also a possible frontrunner for Game of the Year for this year, instead of it being pushed into 2009, where it will compete against such high-profile shooters as the next Call of Duty, which will be the Infinity War, and so it's going to be awesome, the next Wolfenstein, the next Doom, etc., Rage, perhaps. See, the thing is, Sony is being very careful about Killzone because the game, when it was shown at E3 2005 or whatever it was so, picked apart basically because of the trailer,
Yeah.
all CG and all that kind of stuff. Now the game's coming out, now it's looking to live up to the hype of what it was, and they're meeting those promises. Sony does not want to rush this thing out the door. The worst thing that could happen is Sony would rush it out the door, and then it fails to live up to the hype, so it's just okay. And then everybody's like, well, that was a bust.
Yeah.
No matter when it comes out now, so long as it's good, it's a check mark for Sony through the library as a whole for the system.
You figure if you put it out for the end of the year here, it runs up against Resistance, and then, you either have people saying, Killzone kicked the crap out of Resistance, I'd never pick that up, or, Resistance was so much better, I'm not picking up Killzone.
Well, yeah, you have that, but the other thing is that, you have things like Metal Gear Solid, Resistance, Little Big Planet. You've got, like, all these really huge titles, all of which showed off, like, what exactly the PS3 could do. Then you keep that momentum going as opposed to going like, okay, we're going to just throw it out there and let it live on its own. It's like, no, here's how PS3 is going to be better than the 360 and the Wii that you've ever, like, conceived of them as, and this is why. And you have Killzone 3 immediately, almost at the beginning of the year. And you
Killzone
just keep
2.
Killzone 2. And you have
3 comes out a week later.
Yeah, it does. and you have that momentum continue on through 2009. That's the best marketing decision that anybody can make.
Yeah, and also companies don't. Timing for when a game comes out is based on sales. Nobody cares about the awards. People care about the awards, can they get them and whatever, but that's not the timing reason. They're not going to release something in December to make sure they get an award as opposed to putting it out in January. They would release in December because they want the holiday sales.
Yeah.
So that's not the point of it. Frogsplash45 says, do you guys see the next PSP being a phone? And should UMDs be replaced by downloads and vouchers from retail stores?
Second part, yes.
I don't buy that.
You don't think UMD should be replaced?
I think that
I think they need UMDs, period.
There needs to be some sort of physical way to go into a store and buy the game and take it home.
Yeah.
I think most of what happens should be downloads. I think that should be the encouraged thing where you say, hey, everything is available immediately. You do the Steam thing where you can preload a game, then on this day you get the license and then
What
you
do you
can
put
play
on
it.
memory sticks or something?
Yeah, exactly. They all download it there. Or when you go into the store, you buy a memory stick that's already got it installed.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Put some internal memory
But
in
in
the
some
PSP.
ways, like the reason why I said they need UMDs, period, is because they need games. They need product. They need something. Because like the movies, nobody's really
No,
pushing
time to
movies.
cut our losses on this
They
one.
need something. Otherwise, they just cut the device itself.
Now,
and nobody wants to do that.
Now, as for the first part of the question, should the next PSP be a phone? No. And I'll tell you why. having it be a PSP and a phone, number one, if it is a phone, that means it's probably tied to some carrier, which means if I'm on AT&T and the PSP is on Verizon, now I'm not buying the PSP.
yeah.
So that's stupid. Number two is that if it's also got a phone in there, it's way more expensive. Sony's already the PSP is selling well, but the PSP is way more than a DS is, and the DS is selling like freaking crazy. In the handheld space, you want things to be as cheap as possible. So the next PSP's got to be.
This is the whole thing we talk about every time we talk about the PSP is that they are diluting their market. Here's Sam Bishop, by the way, too, hiding at the door. They're diluting it. I mean, they have all this capability the PSP can do, and it's mediocre at everything. Why make a mediocre phone on top of it? Just make games.
Yeah, so screw that. WKD Injection says, after months of another month passes and yet another disappointment, have we heard anything about Time Splitters 4? He's seen the 15-second teaser released last year, whatever it was, but that's it. No news. No news yet.
None.
I'm imagining the Time Splitters 4 will be something that'll be talked about next year. I would assume by E3, but maybe before then. It's got to be one of those games. There's a lot of games that people were just like, we're not going to talk about them this year because you don't want to mess with the holiday releases and all these other things. Now that we're past that, coming up in January, February, people can say, hey, check it out. Here's what we got coming out this year.
I'd hope GDC.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping. I have no idea.
Mastic Keg 44 says, how can hip-hop be dead if Wu-Tang is forever?
Never.
Wu-Tang Clan!
Ain't nothing to F with.
Oh, man.
Bear in mind, our last question of the day, although Greg's got some stuff he says. Bear in mind says,
It's not a question.
Okay, whatever it is. Bear in mind says, will we ever see Peggle on the PSN?
I hope so.
I want to see it on PSP.
Everybody loves that
There you
game.
go.
Man.
Clayman and Bradvig play that game
Dude,
religiously.
it's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
Really?
It's
really good,
Dude,
yeah.
it's Plinko, but like with unicorns. Or one unicorn.
Well
one
done,
very
Rubber.
magical
Well done, Rubber.
blue-haired unicorn.
You sold me right there.
Wow.
Yeah. But no, if anybody listening to this has not played Peggle, search for Peggle, Peggle, and play this thing. You play one level and you're like, oh,
You get it free. I mean,
you're like, oh,
demo
that was all right. Let me play a second level. Yeah, it's a PopCap game, so it's like Bejeweled, wherever you can play it for free. Then you play the first level and you're like, oh, that was all right. I'll try the second one, and then you're like, oh man, I'm doing pretty well. Man, look at that shot. Oh god, level 3, 4, and then all of a sudden it's 5 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Man, if they release Peggle on the PSP, I would actually finally play the system again in my spare time.
Oh,
Damn,
snap, son.
damn, son.
Or if they put Peggle inside a home.
Oh.
That will never happen because it might actually be
that's
all
never
right.
a good idea.
Because it might actually
be rational.
all right.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh,
We're
boy.
jumping ahead to my segment because I got to go.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
PSN hit of the week. Hit of the week. I'll never yell for that one. I'm not going to yell now. Earlier
God, that was
this year
ear-shattering.
in 2008, I announced that the first person I knew outside the industry had bought a PlayStation 3. His name was Jason Rosenbaum. We got into a Rockman feud. It was fun for everybody. However, Jason Rosenbaum admittedly was only a coworker of mine, an acquaintance. You're not somebody lifelong friend. However, now my first ever lifelong friend outside of the industry, Patrick Poe Polasic, bought a PS3 over the break.
Oh, snap, son.
Very huge, I know. I had to help him, and I actually led him towards the deal with the credit card. He's actually someone who successfully, or hopefully successfully, did this credit card. I will tell you right now, this credit card deal is a Medusa. It will lure you in. It's a pain in the ass. No one there knows what they're talking about. The kid got the card finally. There was no instructions in there on how to do it. He called Sony support. They gave, or the card support, whatever. The lady he was talking about didn't know. They gave him 3 separate numbers to call to try to figure this out. I eventually had to go to a Sony PR person I knew through my iPhone AIM to figure out what the deal was. Hopefully it's all set now. But he bought GTA, Warhawk, NCAA, and Fallout 3.
Wow.
Nice selection.
So he's got a nice...
Poe throwing down.
So I will be playing a lot of probably Warhawk with him in GTA and NCAA, but I'm inviting everyone to PSN hit him. However, since he is a very close friend of mine, this will not be a normal PSN hit. Obviously, I'm giving you basic biological information here that I want you to include in your message because he doesn't know anything about Podcast Beyond. He doesn't care what I do other than I can tell him about video games. So when you send him this message, do the regular Beyonds.
Yep.
However, we graduated from the grade school St. Pets, ST period, new word, capital PETS, or apostrophe S, pets, we're possessive. So tell them that you were in the graduating class to St. Pets. It was 1997. You graduated with us from 8th grade in 1997 from St. Pets in Glen Ellen, Illinois. Don't bother saying all that, but, try to screw them up. Toss it beyond in there.
87.
Yep.
No,
97.
97.
Wait, you said 8th grade.
8th grade,
In
1997. That doesn't make sense?
He's youngin'.
Oh,
I'm
no, yeah,
super
no.
young, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I had to do the math here, counting back from my high school graduation to when I would have graduated grade school. We went to one thing from kindergarten through 8th grade, so I don't have the normal, kids call it junior high and all
Middle
this stuff.
school,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't have any of that in my head. So, anyways, his PSN name is Gradpo13. It is all one word. GRADPO13. Gradpo13. St. Pat's 1997 beyond.
Friendly PSN hit confirmed.
There you go. Get him good. All right, I gotta go. Ryan,
Get 'em,
you're in
get
charge of
'em.
the song.
All right, let's continue the show. Let's get it. Hey, send Sam in here. He'll finish up the show for you.
Tag team.
Maybe he's right outside the door. We'll get him in here.
So I actually have an email, a Bala update.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So Little Bala. Our Bala basketball team just wanted to give us an update that they played Lebanon Valley this past Saturday.
They played Lebanon.
Yeah.
That's far away from here.
Yes, it
Lol.
is. And they received their first loss of the season.
Oh, no.
He had a good game with 10 points and 7 assists, but they just missed some easy shots at the end that they usually make. But, hey, nobody can go undefeated. Just ask the Patriots, right? So now they're 5-1 on the year and first place in the conference. Again, thanks, guys, for everything. The show just gets better and better each week. Thanks, Little Bala.
Little bowler?
Man.
Bowler?
That's all right, dog. You're still big Bala to us.
Medium-sized bowler?
Hey, that's big Bala, man.
All right.
Let's see what
That's what you get. Karma gets you for that, Ryan.
let's see what we got left here in the show.
Hit my head.
Ooh. Editor beatdown. So I imagine that what we're going to do is people will be playing some games over the break. I will figure out what games. I know for me, I got to try to play some Dead Space. I got to try to play I play the first 2 hours of Gears 2. I got to try to play some of that. Yeah, so I got some games to play over the break. We'll figure out who's playing what, who's going to be doing what stuff. Maybe you see some guys when they're off. And tournament winners. Ryan, have you heard from Beast again?
Yeah, Beast is back again. He's always back. Oh, my headphone just canceled out. Hold on.
I hear
no,
you. You're
we
still
can
I
hear
know,
you.
but I just can't hear myself, and it was weird. I was in a void again.
Phantom Zone.
All right, so big news, everybody. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
The World War III community challenges are back. You remember these
snap.
when they
Yeah.
were battling over the world?
Absolutely.
And they had Team USA versus the world
Yes.
somehow. All right, so the USA won the Middle East.
Ooh.
Hey!
Wow.
Bombs on your moms.
Classy. So, the battle was in Resistance 2. Here are the results. The first in Team Deathmatch was Big Boss X. We all know him for
Yes.
Team USA. The first in Core Control, Freak Monkey.
Freak Monkey!
It's a great name, Team USA. And the first in Skirmish, Red 7 Ring, Team USA. And congratulations, guys. You own in Resistance. You have won the Middle East.
Bombs over Baghdad.
That's,
There we go.
That's what it's all about. Thank you, Beast, once again.
It looks like we're going to wrap up the show before Sam gets in here.
Yes,
Maybe he's
indeed.
incapacitated. Ryan,
Dungeon
what kind
Maker
of track
Daddy.
do we got for today?
I don't really know. Hey, do you know Billie Jean? Can you sing it?
Do you want the beat or do
No,
you?
I was gonna do the beat and like plus a little bit of like the melody, and I thought you could just do like a little like ooh, ah, something like that.
I can't. Wow.
What's happening here?
You know, I do know a little Billie Jean, but
Do you know the beginning of it? It can be quick. Here we go.
She was more like a Billie Jean across the screen.
It's kind of like Cartman singing the song.
We're gonna switch.
Beat it.
I know. We're switching gears now.
What the hell is
Just beat it.
I'm so confused right now. This I lay on you with torch steps.
Looking in the window, as you struck down.
Smooth criminal.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? But you're jealous, but you're okay.
What the hell? Badgers? Was that the Badgers?
I didn't know the rest after that.
Oh, man.
That was a good little
Badgers.
collection.
With the
Badgers.
Badgers.
Wait,
Wow.
let me think of a good way to end this.
I don't think that there is a good way. We've already butchered Michael Jackson and classic Michael Jackson with that.
The
Wow.
first part was good.
Yeah, this is like pre-molester Michael Jackson. That's
You've been hit by a smooth criminal.
Beyond!